no secret that during the Middle Ages, obscene punishments were handed out to those that spoke against the institutions of the time. The kings, the queens, the monarchs, the religions, anyone wielding great power or influence. And gladly for the most part, on this side of the epoch, we're past the ritualistic and sadistic torture of those who speak out or merely question. Right? Well, of course we are. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the internet or other telecommunications which enable us to open ourselves out and speak so freely without fear of punishment or torture. It's not like there's literal troll hunters searching the internet for those that spew useless bollocks to remove their fingers to stop them from able to communicate and engage in the communities. Just imagine finding yourself on the other end of the medieval arts of tongue pulling. We would first take the fourth criminal, force them to open their mouths, apply the tongue terror with the screws to ensure that the grip was firm, and then with all our might would yank the tongue from the head of the heretic, silencing them for good. The tongue has been a symbol associated with the powerful voice of a deity, reaching or preaching. And there's also symbolism involved in the position of the tongue, for example, when it's protruding out. We see the goddess Kali with her tongue protruding out quite a lot in symbology, oftentimes representing the creative and destructive forces of inside of her. In Christianity at the time, a protruding fleshy tongue was associated to Satan. So you can see how heretics and blasphemers would have had their tongue pulled out to remove the reaching and the preaching of the serpent. This is kind of medieval censorship, right? Because if you did survive the ordeal, the swelling or the infection, you would truly never be able to masticate, let alone being able to communicate and engage with the community and the world around you. Get your apples, get your apples. Don't serve him, Theodore, he's been censored. Obviously, I'm being a bit tongue-in-cheek there. But if you fast forward many years, the internet was given as a double-edged sword, as a gift to connect to global civilization. And well before that time, many parts of the world had their own form of protection for individuals to be able to speak freely. However, the modern form of censorship in the technological age is deplatforming, censoring, cancelling, doxing and reporting those that speak out against the dominant hierarchies. But instead of it purely being just religion and monarchs, it may extend nowadays to cultural observations and critiques as well as political. As opposed to the literal removing of someone's tongue in order to halt their communication, the symbolic removal of one's ability to use the mediumship of something that is interwoven into modern living, to remove someone's ability to communicate and use the internet and telecommunications, is almost as sinister as removing the tongue for those who critique, observe and question with no incitement of violent harm or theft. The internet wasn't bestowed without an ability to be able to regulate and monitor both use and users. And I think this will be a progressively more important theme in the next coming years and decades. It's just a shame that some of the vile and inhumane elements that find themselves on the internet aren't censored or removed, and the ones that truly incite harm, violence and theft to men, women and children.